en todo lugar. Los prestos guerreros empuñan su espada y se enlistan para pelear. Para eso han sido entrenados, defenderán la verdad.
The 1946 General Chapter asked the Province of the Immaculate Heart of Mary of the Foundation of the Mexican Province to accomplish this mission on April 24, 1947. Fathers Benito Convento and Nazario Gaboto arrived to Mexico. 1 year later, Father Germán Ferrando came to Mexico on behalf of the province. The main house of the Mexican Foundation was the Church of the Holy Spirit, located in Escandon, Mexico City. This house was built by Paz Pliego de Hamburg during the first decade of the 20th century. At the beginning, it was in charge to the Dominicans, after it was managed by the Holy Spirit missionaries. Andrew Masplego donated to the Passionists. Nowadays in this province house and one of the theology houses. On December 30, 1948, Father Benito Convento signed an agreement with the engineer Federico Garcia Cuellar, owner of the Apasco cement factory. Garcia Cuellar was worried because of the spiritual care of his workers and offered to the Passionists the land for building a convent. Some years later, this house was the first of the novitiates of the Mexican Foundation. Father Timoteo Pivato was the former teacher of the novice. The ground of the province was whole from 1958 to 1970. This house had 70 novices. In 2008, the General Chapter decided that pastoral care of this population should be given back to the Diocese of Cuautitlan. In the suburbs of Mexico City, in the Olivar de los Padres, Father Germán Ferrando bought a land to build the seminary. On March 3, 1915, they started to build it, and 2 years later, the seminary was inhabited by the applicants to the Passionist life. The choirs they had were similar to the cathedrals in the Formation House in Italy. Fathers gave the name the Humanities Course and lasted 5 years. During the 5 years, the studies had no recognition from the Mexican government. It was until January 15, 1964, that Father Ildefonso Norris reached the incorporation of the studies of secondary school in the Ministry of Public Education. That was the beginning of the Institute Francisco Pocente. Since 2011, this community has been one of the central office for the tele-studies, and since 2030 central office of the postulants. Since 1961, fathers looked for a land to build the house of the studies of philosophy for the Residence Foundation. They got a land in Cuernavaca, in Lomas de Cortés. The condition of the bishop for starting this foundation was that the father must take care of the church of Ocotepec. Father Nazario Gaboto became the priest on September 1961. 4 years later, on July 22, 1965, the house of Cuernavaca was opened. It was for the students of philosophy and devoted to the Saint Gabriel of Our Lady of Sorrows. The first director of the students was Father Mariano Ambrosini. At the beginning, the students were the seminarists of the Diocese of Cuernavaca, but later, because of the lack of academic titles, by instructions of Rome, the teaching of philosophy was over, and the Passionist students had to continue their students in the seminary of Tlalpan in Mexico City. Nowadays, in this community is the center of spirituality of the province. After the mission of San Juan del Rio, Querétaro, in 1985, and work for the spiritual care of the faithful, a land was bought in the suburbs of this state. At the beginning, it worked as house for spiritual exercise. In 2030, was constituted as quarter for the novitiate of the province. During the decade of the 18th, they wanted that philosophy studies were done in the Conciliar Seminar of Querétaro, so they decided to build a house only for the religious formation. After looking for a long time, in 1986, General Superior Father Michael Boyle blessed the house built in Pueblito Querétaro dedicated to the Blessed Domingo of the Mother of God. The design of the house was carefully planned in order to enrich the charismatic life of the applicants. In this community had been developed different experiences of formation, studies of philosophy, and inter-provincial novitiate, the postulant and the novitiate of the province. Since 2030 has been a house for spiritual exercise and quarter of the Passionist Missionary Center. For accomplishing the goal of including the poor, in 1981, they initiated the foundation in the Diocese of San Cristobal of houses in the state of Chiapas. The pioneers in this experience were Fathers Efrain Larrauri and Roberto Sanchez. After several months in the municipality of Tortilla, they took the church of San Michael the Archangel in Tumbalan. The presence in this land has allowed to confirm to marginalization of indigenous chores, poverty, undernourishment, lack of medical attention, scarcity of development opportunities, besides the frequency of the armed conflicts. In 1994, because of the growth of the Passionist Foundation in Mexico and to the strengthening of the ministry, the work initiated in Mexico by the Province of the Immaculate Heart of Mary reached its goal in October 20, 1994. The Catholic Foundation to the Province of Christ the King was declared. 1 year later, in 1995, the Virago of Our Lady of Guadalupe, belonging to the province of the Holy Family, asked the province of Christ the King the pastoral attention of the Church of the Perpetual Help in Guadalajara, Jalisco. In this community is the School for the Studies of Philosophy. The province chapter of 2008 has in their main goals the purpose of an itinerant parish. That means to work during 3 to 6 years to organize the different areas of pastoral of the Christian community. With this mystic, in the year of 2009, they had the parish of the Incarnate Word in the Diocese of Chalco Valley.